Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days. So I wanted to do a quick top 5 for you. So this is going to be a top 5 surprises that may occur at the upcoming draft, ready for the brand split, or brand extension as they're calling it. There's a few names that miss out on this top 5. Carlito, Shelton Benjamin, Chris Masters, Stevie Richards. These have all been heavily rumoured to be, in talks at the moment, so there's every chance you will see those guys. There'd still be big surprises. The big name though, or big names that also miss out on this top 5, Goldberg, because he's being used quite heavily in promotional material for 2K17, and Rey Mysterio, because he's been with WWE before. I'm not sure what his contract situation is like with Lucha Underground, but would I be surprised to see him back? Suppose I would, but these 5 that we're going to talk about would surprise me a lot more. So in at number 5, I've gone with Samoa Joe. Now, it might be a surprising choice considering he's already with WWE and down in their developmental. But Joe is somebody that is the current NXT champion. So to have him drafted, you would think with the NXT championship would be a surprise. We've been down this path before with Kevin Owens, who was working the main roster whilst being the NXT champion. But he very quickly lost the belt whilst he was feuding with John Cena. They could do that again with Samoa Joe, but it would just be a surprise, for me anyway, to see the current NXT champion be drafted to either Raw or Smackdown. That obviously then poses what's going to happen with that championship and really who is going to be best placed to take that from him. Someone like Shinsuke Nakamura, I would expect to be drafted. He's a major name, known all around the world, shifting merchandise like you wouldn't believe. You'd have to think Nakamura is going to be up there. So who takes the title from Samoa Joe? Austin Aries? Is Austin Aries ready to be the face of NXT? I'm not sure if he's really catching fire like what they would like to see. Really, who else is there that can take that title down in NXT? So I just think if you take Joe out of the equation, it leaves a very, very big gap down in NXT. Number 4, NXT again, Bayley and Finn Balor. I couldn't split these two. If I had to go with one, I'd say Bayley would be the biggest surprise. But I just can't imagine NXT without either of these guys. For me, they are the male and female faces of NXT. Bayley has been down in NXT since 2012. Just think about that for a second. She's been down in NXT for 4 years. She is more than due a call-up, but that is only going to make it an even bigger moment when she does actually get called up. Arguably, Finn Balor, who's been down in NXT since 2014, hasn't been down there as long, but is arguably a bigger star. He was the face of NXT, the Demon. He's arguably the biggest future world champion that the company have. Maybe him and Nakamura. But I really struggle to see an NXT that doesn't have Samoa Joe, Bayley or Finn Balor in it. For me, they would be much more surprising call-ups than seeing Chris Masters return or Shelton Benjamin return. Number 3, and we start to get to returning stars now, Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle, even though he's a free agent and has said he wants to return to WWE, would be a massive surprise. He's beyond his twilight years. He's 47 years old. How long is he going to be on the roster for? What is it he can actually commit to? Can he do a full touring schedule? Will he do house shows? Will they use him like Brock Lesnar? What kind of deal could they strike? You've got to think WWE are interested. You know that Kurt Angle's interested. From that point of view, it's not a surprise, but what does he do? What does he work? How does he contribute? How much does he contribute? So many questions that I could see that deal just falling through. Number 2, Jeff Hardy. This would be massive. Jeff Hardy is known to the WWE Universe. He's really one of the faces of TNA at the moment. He's recently re-signed a contract with TNA at the start of this year, but that's not to say that WWE couldn't buy that contract out. It just all depends on the price. You could argue Matt Hardy as well, maybe both of them, but for me, Jeff is the name that's been getting rumoured. I don't see what value a Matt Hardy has without a Jeff Hardy in TNA. I think Matt would struggle a little. I gotta be honest, I don't watch masses of TNA, so I can't really say for sure. But yeah, you know, it's been rumoured. If they buy him out, you could see the Hardys return. Couple more honourable mentions before we get to number one. You've got a lot on the indie scene, people like Moose, who I just think it'd be too soon for a main roster appearance. Jay Lethal, probably the hottest free agent, is obviously in Ring of Honor at the moment. You've also got all of those cruiserweight competitors, people like Zack Sabre Jr., and you know, people you could call up like Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa. I just don't see the star power. I don't see the big names that come with those guys, and I think they need star power, which is why at number one I've gone with Prince Puma, also known as Ricochet. He is the face of Lucha Underground, no two ways about it. This guy is one of the hottest properties in wrestling today. There's been a lot of rumours that WWE have tried to get hold of him, and there's actually going to be a match between him and Johnny Mundo, also known as John Morrison when he was in WWE. I believe it's going to be like a retirement match getting filmed very, very soon, in a few days' time. You would have to think the loser of that, unless this is all a work, again, I don't get a chance to watch too much Lucha Underground, but you'd have to think there's a chance that the loser of that match may end up in the draft. Prince Puma would be a huge acquisition for WWE. Massive to see him get drafted. So whatever happens, guys, it's going to be fantastically exciting. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Wrestling Days UK so you can let me know, and also in the comments, who you would like to see drafted. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and I hope to get a lot more top fives coming your way soon. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. See you next time.